Cadet Shreyas and Kashyap want to express my feeling and the importance of corruption-free India for developed nations. By corruption, I mean that any dishonest or immoral behavior or activities that result in the gain of some powerful organization or people. Thus, corruption often results in loss to the weaker section of the society or organization. Instead of indulging in corrupt practices, the government and the people should rather work on overcoming the problem of corruption. Our country, which is developing nation, must set an example for the citizens and inspire them to work with honesty and dedication to reach their goals rather than using corrupt means. Now, to enlighten you more about today, our cadet Nidhi Upadhyay is presenting her speech.
A very warm welcome to everyone for today's event, which is Corruption Free India. Thank you, NO Ma'am, Dr. Kiran Lata Dungwal Ma'am, Senior Under Officer Gauri Ma'am, Under Officer Anushka Ma'am, and our activity in charge Shreya for today's event. I, Nidhi Upadhyay of 63 Battalion, UP21, SWA 553119, is here to deliver a speech on the topic Corruption Free India. The word corruption is derived from the Latin word corrumpere, which was introduced in 1300 AD. It's basically mean to break to pieces. Karunanidhi, father of corruption. The corruption is a not new word for us, even it is the most common and friendly in our country. Many incidents have been rocked in India related to corruption, like Choppergate scam, also known as Auguste Westland VVIP scam, Vijayamalla scam, which was held in 2016, and many others scam. Our country and our government making new laws and implementing them to make our country corruption-free. And we, the people of India, have to take the initiative to make our country corruption-free. For that, we have to stop doing corruption and make others to stop doing that. And we have to take the initiative to make people aware about the corruption which are going on and what are the problems we are facing related to corruption.
I would like to invite our AN ma'am to throw more light on this topic and guide us for making our nation corruption-free.
We all have heard famous saying, corruption breeds more corruption. Corruption is deceitful behavior that people in positions of power exhibit for their own personal interest and gain. There are many forms of corruptions, which includes bribery, embezzlement, extortion, networking, under-the-table transactions, manipulations of reserves, money laundering, nepotism, favoritism, blackmailing, influence peddling, and many more. India has been plagued by corruption for centuries and hence has become an entrenched part of our society. It is a high time for all of us to keep forward and contribute towards building a corruption-free India. Corruption is basically misusing public powers exercised by everyone who gets an opportunity on jobs, promotions, sports, election campaign. Corruption is one of the biggest threats to the well-being of our society. It is a deep-rooted like termites and slowly weakening the whole system and machine. The corruption to a large extent degrades the quality of services and ruins the life of common people and society as a whole. Now let's see how can corruption prevented and stopped. See, by forcing enforcement of strict laws, audits, checks, balances at every stage of accounts at different levels by different bodies from time to time. Following correct and ethical business practices, conduct of training and education course on anti-money laundering. We can follow transparent working culture, robust control in working environment, merciless punishment to people indulging in corruption, equal punishment to giver and taker of bribe. And there are many other things which we can follow to stop corruption. The main role of teachers and the NCC cadets is to spread mass awareness on all anti corrupt practices in the society. There is also a need to adopt the teaching of explicit and implicit value education system which develops into a value oriented learning connected to an ideology. So, here teachers must impart the knowledge against the corrupt practices which will help youth to follow in future by having better learning experience. In this fast progressing era of technology and online payment, there is a need for all of us to make India a corruption free nation. Only when corruption is completely abolished or eradicated from the root, we can hope India to develop and progress as a country. We all have to come together united and strive to move forward for making corruption-free nation. Honesty is the best policy. Therefore, the need for a corruption-free India is essential for the country to develop, grow and progress. So, let us all stand up together, take a pledge and inspire one and all and set the thought of anti-corruption to make India a corruption-free nation. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Now Cadet Shreya will present her speech.
Jai Hind everyone, I am Cadet Shreya from 63 UP Battalion going to deliver a speech on corruption-free India. India is undoubtedly one of the most attractive places on this earth, whose natural and cultural wealth is a great center of attraction for many. However, the greatness and goodwill of our nation are spoiled by the corrupt activities which go on untappedly. Almost in every working division, we come across corrupt activities holding sway over people's lives, as it allows them to make a fortune in a second or just an hour, making them insensitive towards the sad plight of other people and towards a society. Money has ruled over men, and it has now come to a level where if a common man needs help from the ruling party or government, he or she will have to resort to corrupt means to get to his or her work done. Even though a lot has been said about moral values and principles behind the closed doors, it is only money that dictates everything. If anyone desires to get some work done, then one should learn to take the back door and please to the public officials by warming their pockets. There is no dearth of such politicians and bureaucrats who easily get influenced by money and spoil the whole working of the division. Therefore, work efficiency gets so hampered in such place that it destabilizes the country's economy and our GDP suffers to a steep fall. Corruption begins from the top level and it gets carried down to the bottom, from the senior official to the junior level, working executives, and even to the clerks. They develop a complete a chain of corrupt people and a group, and it becomes difficult for a common man to bypass it, his voice or her voice, concern of immediate action. To our dismay, the situation has aggravated. Perverted people, the common man is constantly being exploited by such people in power, as he doesn't have enough means to fight against the corruption, so his existence become quite miserable. I still feel this can be curbed by brought to an end if and only every Indian citizen run away from his or her conscience and vows to a build corruption free India and sound more principles. Building a corruption free India is not easy, but it's not.
Now Cadet Priyanka Maurya will deliver her speech.
Jai Hind, UP21 SWA 553118, I Cadet Priyanka Maurya of 63 Battalion, NCC, Lucknow University. Here I am going to give a speech on corruption-free India for developed nation. Corruption is not a new word for all the citizens of our country. In fact, it is the most common word and everyone is familiar with the problem we have faced after the corruption. Corruption is basically the use of public power, property and influence to obtain money or personal advantages. Corruption is not only a problem in India, but is a problem for whole world. However, the difference is that in our country it is at the extreme level. We will definitely find that corruption in those countries is least but not eliminated completely. The incident of corruptions like Choppergate scam and the scam of Vijay Mallya in 2016. Corruption free India cannot be visualized without realizing the impression that corruption had made in our society. The scams mentioned above had made our country financially feeble because the same money and have been used for the development of schools, the development of roads, and many projects that could have given employment to the youths of our country. Furthermore, the use of power and resources by government officials for personal gain is one of the reasons for inequality in India. Anti-corruption law for corruption-free India. One of the most important law against corruption-free India was passed in 2005. It is known as the Right to Information Act. According to this act, the employees working in government departments have to give information if a citizens request any information from the office or from the department regarding the services they are providing. Our government, as well as the country, is making many efforts to make our country corruption free. The government has passed many laws and taking action on them on short notice. Over the years, corruption have also came down, improving the economy and the making the life of people easier. It will not be pragmatic to think that we can make India corruption free in 2 years or 3 years. Definitely. Eliminating or reducing corruption will take time.
Good morning everyone. This is Kushi Kumar Singh from 63 UP Battalion is going to deliver a poem on corruption free India. India is an incredible country as India is my country. Believing in relation but doing corruption. Don't take any action against the corruption. India is an incredible country as India is my country. If we want India corruption free, we have to be a big unite tree. Then and only I, you and we are free. Then and only then India is corruption free. India is an incredible country as India is my country. Thank you all.
Poster representation by our cadets. Now, under officer Anushka Bajpayee will take integrity pledge for citizens.
Second everyone, I, Under Officer Anushka Bajpayee from 63 UP Battalion, NCC, University of Lucknow, request you all to take the integrity pledge against corruption on the occasion of Vigilance Awareness Week. I believe that corruption has been one of the major obstacles to the economic, political, and social progress of our country. I believe that all the stakeholders, such as the citizens, government, and private sector, need to work together to eradicate corruption. Now, I want you all to take the pledge with me. I therefore pledge to offer probity and rules of law in all walks of life, to neither take nor offer bribe, to perform all tasks in an honest and transparent manner, to act in public interest, to lead by example, exhibiting integrity in personal behavior, to report any incident of corruption to the appropriate agency. Thank you for taking the pledge with me.
Jai. मेरा मानना है कि हमारे देश की आर्थिक, राजनीतिक, सामाजिक प्रतिज्ञा में भ्रष्टाचार एक बहुत बड़ी बाधा है। भ्रष्टाचार का उन्मूलन करने के लिए संबंधित पक्षों जैसे नागरिकों तथा निजी क्षेत्र को एक साथ कार्य करने की आवश्यकता है। मेरा मानना है कि प्रत्येक नागरिक को सतर्क होना चाहिए तथा उसे सदैव ईमानदारी तथा सत्यनिष्ठा के उच्चतम मानकों के प्रति वचनबद्ध होना चाहिए। भ्रष्टाचार के विरुद्ध संघर्ष में सहायता करनी चाहिए तथा मैं प्रतिज्ञा करती हूँ कि जीवन के सभी क्षेत्र में ईमानदारी तथा कानून के नियमों का पालन करूंगी, ना तो रिश्वत लूंगी, जनहित में कार्य करूंगी, अपने निजी उच्चारण में ईमानदारी दिखाकर उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करूंगी, भ्रष्टाचार की किसी भी घटना की रिपोर्ट उचित एजेंसी को दूंगी। जय हिंद।